He was just talking about how it's like the first of its kind. It's like really one of the first exploitation films. It's one of the first time serial killers were used in cinema in the way of being a villain that you have to catch. It's kind of like the anti-cowboy movie, like anti what Clint Eastwood was doing before this movie. I mean, in so many ways, and I thought this while I was watching it because I had never seen this movie. I didn't know there were 6 of them either. Like I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know this was a character that
There's
reoccurred.
5. There's 5.
I think there's 6.
I think there's 5.
All right,
I think there's 5 actually too. My point is though is that I didn't know that this was a series, and when I watched it, the first thing I thought was, damn, like I've finally seen a movie that I think influenced David Fincher. I've never seen a movie that I was like, yeah, this could be a direct influence, except for movies that I've heard him talk about, like Chinatown or Butch Cassidy or 2001. I mean, those movies I can definitely see like the sleek, like bravado of Fincher, but this is like a movie that back then he could have directed.
I can see it definitely influencing his original story, Zodiac.
I mean, I think it influences his movies in general of like violence and like how it's used so nonchalantly and how it's like it's like you're following 2 characters. Though the bad guy is great. I love the bad guy in this movie. He's fucking creepy as fuck.
He's a wacko.
And even Clint Eastwood is not technically a good guy. I mean, he's a cop, so he's working for the good guys. But as a person, he's not a good guy.
He's, early example of an
Fincher,
anti-hero.
Exactly.
Sure,
Fincher loves anti-heroes, and this would be the ultimate version of that, really.
But I also feel like he's just a cowboy in the modern day setting.
He's
not
way
does
cooler
he change that
than
much?
a cowboy. Cowboys aren't cool to me. Never have been.
But like the man with no name, like the guy from the
I gotta agree with
Good, the bad, the ugly.
Because it's not I wouldn't say it's very much a departure from the Man with No Name. I think it's kind of the same character, just now he's a modern day detective.
Well, I think the difference
man,
is
a few words, grizzled, has a chip on his shoulder,
Yeah, but in those movies, like I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying you're wrong. You're definitely
you just hate cowboys.
You're definitely right. But in those movies, he was more of like a.
I've never heard you say you're definitely right, but go on.
Well, I'm saying you guys aren't wrong in what you're saying. Like what you're saying makes sense, but I think it's more of a departure than you guys think because, like, in those movies, especially in the Sergio Leone movies, like those weren't grounded westerns. Like those were operatic, almost like Kill Bill. You know what I mean? Like it's just not a grounded thing in any way. It's like super comic booky. That's not the real world type of thing, and that's how I looked at those Leone movies. So I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I think Clint Eastwood has
grounded. You're saying
yes, it is. It's pretty grounded. Pretty grounded, yeah, the way it's supposed to be. Like there's nothing like super ungrounded about this. Like it's about a guy going like
this vigilante cop is kind of ungrounded. That doesn't really happen in the real world generally.
Well, I'm saying the world he's painting though, like we exist in this world. I feel like Kill Bill is like not really. We don't exist in that world. You know what I mean? Like, there's Elle Driver's not walking around a fucking hospital just waiting to kill somebody with a patch on her eye. You know what I'm saying? Like she's not a James Bond villain. You know what I mean?
Nobody's going like, who the fuck is that bitch?
Yeah, why is she whistling down the hallway for 10 minutes?
Hey, shut up.
Yeah, I think it's grounded in the sense of like these seem like realistic characters. Like this could actually happen, things like that. Like it's not like he's not like a superhero or like doing goofy, I don't know, like you said, the whistling down a hallway type shit.
Yeah, and we can exist in this world. I see.
There's nothing goofy about the whistling down the hallway. It's just it's entertainment for entertainment's value. It's like this is what's happening, and this probably isn't going to happen really, but it's so great that you love it. In this movie,
kind of like
this shit could happen. Whose speech?
Yeah. The Clint Eastwood speech at the beginning and the end of the movie.
Yes,
that's kind of a departure.
Maybe that. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Maybe that wouldn't happen if a guy is like at a face off with a criminal. He's not going to be like, I know what you're thinking.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Would you write this down?
Fun fact: John Milius wrote those lines. He did a run through of the script before it got greenlit, I guess, and he wrote those famous lines, which is cool.
The guy that name reminds me of the guy that did the Man to the Moon thing. Obviously it's not the first film of like the
that's
the launch of the moon.
You're thinking of the Lumiere brothers.
Lumiere. You're thinking of Lumiere. John Milius was a screenwriter that came up with like Coppola, Scorsese, and Spielberg. He wrote like Conan and like a lot of movies. Okay. He wrote a lot. He wrote Apocalypse
Now. The name's
Now.
familiar. Oh, okay, that's probably where I got.
Yeah, he wrote he wrote a couple big things, but he was also a big like ghostwriter. Like he would write, he would do polishes on scripts and not get credit for it, but get like buco bucks. I think he was one of the first guys to ever do that. Tarantino, I think, does that shit too.
Who directed the movie with Jim Carrey where he like acted like that other dude and ruined?
Oh, you're talking about
the one he was a dude
Man on the Moon?
Dude acting like another dude.
Milos Forman directed the movie. The same guy who directed.
I thought I was
versus
thinking
Larry
Milius, not Milos.
No, Milius was a Spielberg era guy. Super American. There's a great documentary about him called Milius. You guys should watch it. It's really good. Okay. It was made a couple years ago. It's got good interviews. It's like Spielberg and Scorsese and George Lucas and shit.
I did watch 1971's Dirty Harry, directed by Don Siegel, because that's the movie you made me watch today.
Nice, you did it. I was waiting for the thing.
Fuck, I was watching other shit.
What? Dirty Harry Potter? Were you watching Harry Potter instead? Because I can talk about Harry Potter all day. Who's your favorite Harry Potter character? Ooh, we should do this as a TikTok, Jake. Favorite Harry Potter characters. Everybody loves Harry Potter.
I mean,
I wouldn't even know how to do that. I don't know any. I know Harry Potter, and that's really all I know.
Boom, you named Harry Potter. That's awesome.
All right, cool. Well, maybe we'll make one of those.
I'm going to go Rubius Hagrid. Oh, we're not doing it then?
Not right now. Later. We'll save that for another time.
Okay.
The Harry Potter movie draft.
This is a Clint Eastwood vehicular activities.
Is there someone named Mantooth in Harry Potter?
Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
Okay. So yeah, that's... I just heard Justin outside say Mantooth. I don't know. He's by my window, and I heard him say Mantooth.
Why is he by your window? What's he doing out there?
I don't know. My shades are clear. He's doing some work shit. I'm not really sure. You're right. Maybe he heard me say the Harry Potter thing. I don't know. I'm confused now, but
ask him.
Who cares?
What's your guys? You guys got a haiku for Harry Potter? I mean, Dirty Harry, starring Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. Dirty Harold.
Is that part of your haiku?
All right, go ahead, Jake. You go first.
Me go first? Okay.
Yeah, Migos.
San Francisco roofs. Beware of a killer, man.
Oh,
Dirty Harry's here.
Nice.
Wrote Dirty that one a few seconds ago, so maybe I could have revised it.
Mine goes like this. Let's see. McLean, Riggs, Dalton, Dirty Harry had them beat. Meanest cop on the street.
I personally think Riggs beats everybody, but we can argue that later.
Okay,
I guess.
and I thought we'd have this conversation. When I mean beat, I just mean he beat him to what that character was. He's the first.
He's the first of his kind, for sure. For sure.
Like that.
Okay. Riggs
is him.
Lethal Weapon.
That's Gibson?
Mel Gibson. And
yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
Shut up. You know who that is. Much. You just hate Mel
I wasn't sure if it was the other him or Danny Glover.
Speederman hates Gibson. Let's let that sink in, guys.
Yeah, it's fine.
Spearman
makes sense.
Speederman.
Oh yeah.
Probably does.
That.
All right, I got mine. Dirty business, man. Serial killers running amok. Exploitation is king.
Sick.
Didn't rhyme, but you know.
It doesn't have to rhyme.
I know. Yours rhyme, though. It's good when they rhyme. No matter what, it's good when they rhyme. Even if they don't have to rhyme, it's good when they rhyme.
So you think this is an exploitation film?
I think this is one of the first mainstream exploitation films in the fact that it's about a guy running around giggling and spying on people and sniping them. That's pretty exploitive.
Okay.
What is it exploiting?
I mean, exploitation films are films that deal with, it's not like specific one thing's exploiting. They're things that deal with like subjects of taboo, like killers or rapists or things that are very like hard hitting, like exploitation films. Like whether they mean like they're films that aren't mainstream in that way.
Is that what an exploitation film is? I thought an exploitation film deals with a specific thing that it is exploiting.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. This is exploiting serial killers for the first time. There's not many movies about serial killers before this movie, and especially about serial killers that are like the things that cops are chasing. Usually it's robbers or fucking bank robbers or gangsters or shit like that.
There's like Dirty Cops 2 and things like that. It's sort of going on that because it's like exploitation was like sort of supposed to be like a commentary on like a current trend or like a political issue or something going on,
something.
or like a certain I know it goes into like race and sex and
I mean, you can Google.
That's why I didn't think initially think it was exploitation, because it was like my mind always goes to like blaxploitation films and like those types of movies, but I guess this isn't that. But I guess it certainly has that vibe.
Exploitation film.
I never thought about it that way.
It's not what comes to mind when I think of this movie. But I
mean, this movie would play at a grindhouse theater. This movie would definitely play at a grindhouse theater. I mean, Tarantino would play this at his theater any fucking day.
I can see it now that I think about it. Yeah, word.
It's just a really violent mainstream movie. Like, this is one of the first ones of its kind. Like, that's why it's such a thing.
Well, it's kind of like the old noir movies, is it not?
But they weren't super violent. Like, there wasn't a lot of blood in those. There was a lot of mystery and detection and a lot of shady characters saying a lot of shady things, but it wasn't like bloody or gory or violent or anything like that.
Yeah, because think about the opening scene of this movie. It is very like sexual. It's not sexual, but it's like sexually like it's
a woman's getting into the pool. Very attractive woman in a bikini in the pool swimming. Is she naked? No, she's not naked.
No, she's got a bikini on.
Bathing suit, and then then she gets shot, and then it's and
do we see who shoots her right off the bat? No, we just see her get shot.
We see him like getting ready, and his face is like blocked by the gun, I believe. I don't think we see him till like later on, till after, like the second time we see him on the roof. I don't think we see the actual character of Scorpio.
Yes,
Scorpio, which is a nice play on fucking
the Zodiac
real guy, the
Zodiac killer. Yeah, San Francisco also being a place.
So my biggest thing about this movie that I noticed from the very start, and obviously you guys did too, is the cinematography is pretty specific. Like, this movie's dark in look. Like, I feel like a lot of this movie was shot with natural lighting and bounces and a lot of that shit, especially when Clint Eastwood was just walking around by himself solving shit. Like, there were scenes where, even in just the beginning, when he's walking around the roof where the guy shot from, and it's like super above him, and it's just panning left and panning right, and there's a cityscape in the background. Like, it's just dope. She looks really good.
Really always looked great on this. Yeah, it was very colorful. I mean, you were saying dark, but I think at the same time it was both. Like the opening scene
specifically, shot in Technicolor.
Yeah, super colorful. Like yellow,
but when it's dark, like when it's nighttime, it's fucking dark.
Totally. Like during the day, it's like bright blue skies, like beautiful landscapes, like green city. Like it's just, I thought the cinematography was great. The cinematography was
really good.
The music's really cool. Like, it has that exploitation
vibe. The music was fun as fuck.
Right away, it's that groovy, like funky, jazzy, like tune to like just these cool shots of like.
Yeah, I thought the music was rad. I think it's like a jazz composer who wrote all the music.
Yeah, and it's almost like it's like that killer's theme almost for like the first few times we see him. It's like that shit starts, and we're like, okay.
That said, the very end, no music. Like the last chase.
That's true.
No music.
You know what else I liked about this movie is that I get that you do choose your locations, but I felt like they used locations that like could just been anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, shit happens on a football field. When the fuck does that happen in a movie like this? Like, I feel like they just kind of like chose places that
shot
were
the
very
football field.
Oh,
I think it's an iconic football field, though.
I mean, if it's in San Francisco, then it's where the Niners played. So at that point, it would have been. I don't think it was Candlestick. It was something else. But my point is
like
that
Kaiser Field or Kaisery Field.
My point is that it's
they
like
play somewhere different now, but I'm sure then, they were.
This movie just seemed like it sets itself apart from other movies because it seemed like you're seeing San Francisco in a way of someone who really knows San Francisco. You know what I mean? It's like it's not just showing you the tropes. Like, it shows you the bridge in the beginning, but it has to because that shot was so epic. But like, it doesn't show you rolling hills. It doesn't show you like trolleys and shit like that. Like, it has a minute, but it's more. It shows different sides of things. Like it just seemed like it was back alleys that are dark with like hints of light on doorways or places that just give it depth so the shot looks nice. Like, it just seemed like really a different way of shooting a city in general. You know what I mean? I've never seen San Francisco. Like my favorite version of San Francisco I ever saw before this was The Game, David Fincher's movie The Game, which is a great depiction of San Francisco in my opinion, especially like when he's running away from the dudes in the alleys and like they're chasing him in the vans and shit like that, or when he goes over the fucking into the water under the bridge. Like, that to me was another side of San Francisco I never shot because it looked like grimy. San Francisco always looks like pristine, and this is another thing that like it just seems like the dark alleys of San Francisco, which I think was a pretty good accomplishment.
Yeah, my first intro to San Francisco was Full House, and it's definitely a different story here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Bullet is
Mrs.
one movie that
comes
probably Miss Doubtfire.
I've never seen Bullet.
I've never fully seen it either because it's kind of boring. But like, there's a iconic car chase.
Yeah.
That if you probably have seen. I hope
I've probably
so,
seen pieces of it.
It's like known to be like one of like the best like chase scenes in.
I mean,
film.
It's like that in French Connection, right?
Yeah,
like that.
I think it was.
Connection?
Yeah.
The two car chases.
Bullet was before this. I think Bullet was like 65 or 67 or something like that.
Have you guys seen the French Connection?
No.
That's another crime movie.
I don't think I have.
There's a great car chase in that where they actually just literally like put the cameras in the cars and actually did the chase like 80 miles
TikTok idea, car chases.
That's a good one
car
too.
chases.
Because Bullet was a sweet car chase because they're like muscle cars in the streets of San Francisco, like going up and down the hills, tight corners, tight little alleys.
Like The Rock.
Yeah. Very excited. Yeah, it was very similar. Yeah, that was also San Francisco. Yeah.
Fuck. Maybe Mrs. Doubtfire was my first introduction to San Francisco. Now that you say that, and then it probably was The Rock and The Game around the same time. But I think The Game was the one that set it apart for me because it just looks so sleek and different. You know what I mean?
Some good San Francisco movies. I haven't really.
Yeah, some great San Francisco movies.
Yeah.
Including this one.
Yes, including
absolutely.
This one.
So he immediately introduced Dirty Harry. What's his full name? Harry
Callahan.
Inspector Callahan reminds me of Callahan Auto Parts.
Yeah.
He comes into the scene, sees the dead girl, immediately deciphers that it was a sniper rifle from 4 roofs away, and finds not only the bullet casing of his sniper rifle, but a note from the Scorpio killer, asking for $100,000 or he will kill again.
And what also is interesting about this is that in most movies, when there's a gunman shooting someone from afar or even a killer in general, they usually hold off from maybe showing you them for a while. But this right off the bat is like there's this long-haired blonde dude running around amok. You know what I mean? Like that was interesting too. A lot of the times, like maybe they'll like try to hide it, you know what I mean, or give it a little more mystery. They didn't do that at all.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by how early we saw him initially.
Yeah,
because we
don't see him in the first one though, right?
I think we do. Don't we see him in the first scene when he shoots her in the pool?
I don't think we see his face right away. I think it's obstructed by the gun. I think he's like prepping stuff, but we don't like see him directly. I
think we see the next kill when he kills the
where he's
Catholic guy.
He's going to. He never. Yeah. When he's
You're
prepping
right.
for that.
Oh yeah. He's looking at him. He's looking at him through the scope without the gun at first, and then he puts it on the gun. Yeah.
But before that, the best scene of the movie happens. After Callahan, he goes through the scene, finds the bullet, finds the note, and he goes back, boss. We meet the bot, we meet like the captain. They're discussing he's in charge of the case of the Zodiac or the Scorpio case. I don't know what they say in there, but then he gets
assigned his partner, remember? And he's like, "Why you got to give me this guy? This is a great line because he's like, the other 2 guys I just had, they're both in the hospital." And then he looks at this guy and he's like, "So what?" And it's like, "Oh, this guy's gonna get fucking killed."
I gotta ask, is this the movie that set up that like buddy cop trope of like one cop being like, "Oh, I don't want to work with this. You're giving me this guy."
Might have been.
I gotta think it is. I didn't fully research that, but I gotta think it is.
Before this, he goes for a hot dog. Before he gets his partner, he goes for a
hot dog. Of course. Yeah, that's classic. Yeah, we gotta talk about that one.
Talking to his hot dog, which again reminded me of Riggs in Lethal Weapon 3 when he goes when Murtaugh goes and gets a burger and they're kind of chatting about the burger and then some shit goes on behind him and he goes in a shootout right behind him while he's eating the burger. Wouldn't have these guys without this guy. This guy's the OG. I didn't know this guy. I didn't know.
No Lethal Weapon.
I didn't know these were all tropes. Let alone it started with this movie.
I think you never think of it because it's such a common thing, like the buddy cop scenario. It's like, oh yeah, this is the setup. This was the original.
Maybe it was.
I mean, if this created it, Lethal Weapon definitely perfected it.
Yeah, you think Lethal Weapon's better?
I think Lethal Weapon is the best buddy cop movie ever. I think that's a great series.
I think
isn't
those really a buddy cop movie though.
No, but just cop movie in general, maybe. I have a good list of cop movies.
Has more of a buddy cop dynamic, but
yeah.
BCD.
But yeah, this is still Dirty Harry's film.
What I did like that we can get into more later, but I'll just mention it right now is that what's that dude's name? His partner? What was his name?
Chico
Gonzalez. Chico Gonzalez.
Chico Gonzalez, I like him as a cop. He actually did some smart shit in this movie that is against a lot of things that usually characters in movies do. He was actually a good cop.
Well, that's because he was a sociology major.
Yes.
Yeah, he had his credentials. He left for teaching.
Yeah. All right. You'll go far with that one.
Anyways, while he's eating his hot dog, he sees a 211 happening across the street. Calls the cops. I love that he calls the cops and then he's just like, all right, I don't got to do anything. I'm just gonna chill and wait for the cops to come.
Well, I think a 211's let him know that I think a 211's happening, because he just kind of like he just sees like a guy parked smoking and he's just in the front. He just knows.
He says, make sure you tell him it's in progress. Yeah. So while he's sitting there hoping that before it's over, I mean, also, what if they're just murking people in there and he's just like, no, we won't worry about it later.
Once he hears the alarm and the shots, that's when he's like, all right, now I got to do it. Now I know for sure.
But yeah, so he's chilling. He's like, I'm going to wait for the cavalry to come. And then unfortunately, it all explodes into the street. And he goes, shit, I got to go out. So while eating his hot dog, he goes out and one of the bank robbers flees with a shotgun in hand. He says for him to freeze. He does not. He shoots at him.
Time out. Before we go further, how fucking far is Dirty Harry from this guy at this point? Is he like 50 feet
from the car?
Feet? No, from the guy who shoots.
Yeah, in the car, right?
He's like a traffic lane away. He was like in the middle of the street. This guy was.
So how many feet are we saying? How many feet are we saying?
40 feet.
Maybe, okay, now with him, I don't know much about guns in this way, but is that Magnum from that distance accurate like that? Is that like an easy thing to do like that? It doesn't seem like that easy? An easy thing to do.
I don't think so.
No, that's a fucking Magnum. That's like a big ass gun.
You know he's a good shot. Maybe. It's very established he's a good shot.
This ain't the first time he shot this gun.
For sure. Yeah. I know. I get he that. Though he certainly doesn't look like he's aiming it, because he just kind of he just kind of pulls it goes. But
loosey-goosey with this
44 Magnum
he's that good of a cop.
Is a hunting pistol. It's made for hunting.
And it's finishing off your prey.
It's got a barrel on it. No, not finishing, just hunting in general.
Really?
Yeah. It's got a big fucking bullet.
It does.
Yeah, I mean, you could take out a lot of things with that. You're not going and hunting elephants with it, but you can certainly take down, like, I don't know. You can probably take down a small deer if you got close enough.
Yeah, obviously.
Just get behind a deer and jack him in the head.
I feel like anything smaller than that is gonna just explode. You shoot a squirrel with that. There's not gonna be much left of that squirrel.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's not a shotgun either, so like that helps the accuracy right there alone. It's one bullet.
It goes further, yeah. So yeah,
the spray.
He did. That's why. So that's why he didn't get affected when he got shot, because he did get shot by this guy's shotgun. Yeah, but he just walked right up to him. I don't know. I'm gonna say possible. Yes.
Okay.
But it didn't kill him. It hit him and didn't kill him.
It hit him like right here, right in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Then he shoots the car. He took him down to the ground. Then he shoots the car. The car flies over, kills everybody in the car. Then he walks up to the guy laying on the street, and he gives the iconic line of, "Do you feel lucky? Did I shoot?" Which has been parodied.
I feel lucky. You gotta ask yourself. You gotta ask yourself, yes. Do I feel it? Because I feel like that's the thing that's changed over time, where everyone's like, "Do you feel lucky, punk?"
Well, in the end, he asks, "Well, do you?"
That's like Luke. That's the Luke. I am your father. He never says that. This is the version of that.
Yeah. But then he says, "Do I feel lucky? Well, do you?"
Punk.
He doesn't even say punk in the first one.
He doesn't?
And that was where I was like, man, he doesn't even say punk. And in my head, I was like, there's no way he's going to repeat this line. Like, that was right. He gave the iconic line right in the beginning. Like, it was a good line. I don't know he's going to repeat it, but he does.
I think the even better line is...
It's a bookend situation.
I think the better line is what he says before that, which is like, "I know what you're thinking. Did I fire 6 shots or 5?" Yeah. And you're just like, "Oh, okay."
Well,
I lost track and
all the excitement.
Yeah.
Great line. Iconic.
I counted the shots my second time watching it like a fucking nerd. I'm like, I gotta know. But it was accurate.
What do you think? He shot like 10, and then in the end he.
Yeah, and most movies, they overshoot the load they have for sure.
I did appreciate that Scorpio in the end does reload. He does like run out of ammo and reload his magazine.
Yeah, You often see them cut away from the reload part in movies.
Yeah, cut away or just never think about it. Then we get Chico Gonzalez. Well, then he goes into the hospital like Patrick Swayze. It's like pain don't hurt. It's literally, except instead of a hot chick, it's a black man.
Yeah, this killer serial
the doctor. What?
I'm trying to remember what. Oh, and then so that's what he does. He says, "Yo, you got to take your pants off," and he's like, "No, these pants cost $23.54. I'm not taking the pants off."
Yeah. He's like,
"Look
away
he says
if you're
gonna
embarrassed."
cut them off, and he goes, "I'll just take them off."
He goes, "Look away if you're embarrassed."
Then he gets helicopters. What were you about to say, Jake?
I don't remember. I got distracted. Sorry. I thought you were talking about
So
something
now
else.
he goes and gets his partner, Chico Gonzalez.
Then he gets Chico. He's mandated with a partner.
You find out he's equally racist to all in this scene, which is funny.
Oh yeah, they get, but yeah. There's a lot of talk on whether or not this is a racist movie, a fascist movie. I think it was called a few times in the earlier
supposedly
reviews.
a lot of like right-wing ideology. Apparently, I don't know. I didn't really catch that. It was like a certainly like fuck the system movie, but I don't know about like fascist. Maybe there was like a little extra machismo. Like maybe it was a little not
Should
very
this movie
feminist,
be looked
feminist, but not
into
really.
that deep? I don't know. That's my question. Or is this?
I don't think so. I think this is entertainment for entertainment's sake.
I agree. I
don't think he was trying to say anything. I mean, maybe they're trying to tell you that like the world isn't all hunky dory and not everybody fucking is a 1950s fucking housewife. You know what I mean? And people talk like this. And when you're in that kind of situation, when you're dealing with different people all the time, you're gonna have different worldly views of people and the way that you deal with them. I mean, cops deal with the lowest of the low. You know what I mean? They deal with scumbags. They deal with people that we don't have to fucking associate with. So, I mean, things are different. Things that are like the way they talk, the way they communicate is not the same as the normal people hanging out.
I mean, that line certainly wouldn't have been in a fucking 2022 movie, but you know, that is
which one?
It would have been in the 90s movie though.
The one he's like, oh, he hates all these racial slurs, and then he says,
I heard
especially this racial
Siskel and
slur.
Ebert, I think, review. They were talking about it, and he was like, you know why people like this movie? Because who's the super racist old guy on TV? Archie Bunker. He was like, because this is Archie Bunker with a badge. That's why people like this movie. And I was like, man, this review didn't age well.
Yeah.
The next,
this goes back to like the reason why people hate Tarantino too. Like some people say he's too violent and misogynistic and
says the N-word too much.
Says N-word too much. But like, if you're gonna watch a movie for the genre that you like, which could be exploitation, which could be cop, could be action, it's not for everybody. Just don't fucking watch it. Like, just shut the fuck up and don't watch it. It's fucking annoying.
I get it. You don't have to yell at me, bro.
And this could, I mean, I could see this being like looked at as like a bad example. Like, I bet there were some cops out there that started being like, well, fucking Dirty Harry did it, so I'm just going to start killing people because I think they're suspicious.
Cops have been killing people before Dirty Harry been killing people.
For sure.
So let's not blame it
like,
on Dirty Harry.
I could see that, but I'm just saying I could see like how people could view it as that way.
Well, I don't know. It's like blaming Manson for Columbine.
Right. It's probably not the case, but sure it maybe
it's one of the first
times.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of film noir movies where it paints cops in bad lights and in a bad light and gives them a shitty role. But like we were saying before, film noir movies aren't too gritty. Like they're gritty for the time, but this is a gritty ass movie. Like this is like in the fucking squad car with the dudes. You know what I mean? Cops didn't exist before this. Documentaries about cops didn't exist before this. Like cops were probably getting away with way more this time, doing all kinds of shit.
I hope so.
I bet you do.
Well, he does it for good reasons. That's the thing about Mr.
That's the thing
Callahan.
about Dirty Harry is he's a realist. He's a realist at heart, but I do think he's a good guy. I think he would save anybody, no matter what race or creed
he chooses justice over the law.
Right. He that exchange he has with the mayor.
The law.
He had that exchange with the mayor about the he's like, look, I don't want any funny business. That's my policy, okay? Like, or something like, I don't know what exactly the mayor said, but then he's just like, oh well, if I see a guy trying to rape a woman, I'm gonna shoot him. That's my policy. Like that's the
and
vibe.
Then he says,
Harry
how do you
off.
know he
It's
was
like,
about to rape her?
Yeah, he had a hard on and a knife. I can't. What would you say? Like, I don't think he was working for the Red Cross.
Yeah, that's what he did say.
He was chasing her with a knife and a hard on. I don't think he was collecting for the Red Cross.
Yeah, he's like that. He doesn't
tell me
work
one
within
thing. Have
the
you ever
parameters
been
of the
slicing meat naked though?
law. No,
No.
No?
no.
Never mind.
All right, keep going. What happens next?
What happens next? I think we meet Scorpio now. We see him for the first time. He's about to kill somebody on the roof. He's looking through he's looking through his scope.
Yeah. At this point, it says his first note says he's gonna shoot a Catholic priest or a black person
or an African American, and
he says it worse than I just did. I'm just saying.
Huh?
The way he said it was worse than I did. So just saying.
Yeah. I wasn't correcting you. I'm just reading the Wikipedia here.
Understand. Go on.
When does he be accused of a peeping Tom? What is he looking at there?
Oh, it's after the copter guys chase Scorpio off the roof. Then they're looking for him because they see it. Chico thinks he saw him like walking on the side of the road. Then he looks and he's like, he might have gone to that building. Then Harry's looking inside of a.
Right before that, we meet Scorpio. We see him now. He's kind of like this baby face, long haired, kind of weird looking.
Looks like a hippie.
Just kind of hippie looking.
Yeah,
dude. Is this an anti-hippie movie? He is wearing like a peace sign.
I think there's a little bit of anti-hippie in this.
Or is it just
I'm for that. I'm for that.
You don't like hippies?
He's also like trained in how guns work, so that's not really a hippie thing.
I said he looks like a hippie. I didn't say he was a hippie. His facial.
You think he's military?
And his hair.
It looks like he's in 1971. That's all it looks like.
They don't have long hair like that in 1971.
Yeah,
I thought you meant the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 1970.
No, I'm saying that's the year he's in.
Oh,
he looks. Everyone had long hair. A lot of people had long hair back then.
A lot of hippies in 71.
Yeah, true. That was the age of the hippie.
Oh wait, I mean just a lot of long hair.
Anyway. And in San Francisco, that's the home of the hippies. Of course, he's probably a little hippie.
And you like this guy, huh, Schwartz? You like his weird antics?
I think he's an interesting villain for sure. Like
this is his first movie.
He is a good villain.
An actor.
Mm-hmm. He was.
I do think I think he's interesting. Like I didn't expect that from when I watched it. I thought he was going to be more subdued and like militaristic, and the fact he was like had like a agenda of like a real hit agenda, like a lot of things that happened that caused him to be like this, and was going to talk about it. But he seemed like a fucking psycho, which I love.
Yeah. Not a lot of backstory, but yeah,
which was great. Because you didn't need it because of how crazy he was. You understand right off the bat. You're like, oh, this guy just likes killing people, which to me is fun.
All we knew is that he was poor because he lived in the stadium and like worked at the stadium. So like he's clearly deranged enough to not be able to function in regular society to have a regular home. So
and he either trained a lot with shooting or he was in the military. So
yeah. I got to think military, and he's fucked up from the military or something. I don't know.
That's a good backstory.
They never reveal that.
Sure.
What's his name? The guy who plays him. What's like Alan something? He said Andy Robinson.
Scorpio? Andy Robinson.
Yes, Andy Robinson. He said that he thought he should. He mentioned something about that. He was kind of fucked up, maybe a little PTSD or something. But he also said that that also might have just been his anti-war sentiment then more than anything he wanted to play, because he was kind of a hippie. This guy, trained stage actor. Clint Eastwood saw him in a play, liked him, asked to have him cast as Scorpio.
Yes.
Reading about this too,
a lot of freedom. What'd you say, Schwartz?
I said one thing reading about this movie. You realize that Clint Eastwood at this time, and still now, I guess, because he's so big, is that he's one of the movie stars that like got to control things. He got to pick actors and pick directors and make decisions on how the movie.
I heard he was like directing scenes and shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's super. He's a movie star. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys.
Probably like DiCaprio is now, sort of.
Yeah,
like how
exactly.
DiCaprio kind of. They have a lot.
He was directing scenes in this movie.
Yeah, I guess he directed that scene where he had to get the suicide guy off the roof. Like he directed that scene because
that
of
was a
like
great scene.
I
love the way
I
that was
guess
shot.
the dynamics of it were like difficult for the director. So like
another
he just
Lethal
like, oh,
Weapon
this is how it should go. Yeah.
or a rip off
yeah,
that Lethal Weapon did.
Yeah. Well, Clint Eastwood directed so many movies. We all know that. Like he's directed some bangers, like bangers.
Still directing
like,
to this
there's
day.
probably like 6 of his movies where you can say are like classic
top
fucking
6
movies.
How good was Cry Macho?
I did not see Cry
Never
Macho.
saw Cry. I saw The Mule. That was the last one he directed.
I saw The Mule too. I actually liked The Mule. It wasn't one of his best, but it was entertaining.
Hilarious in ways to think,
dude,
that character could do what he did.
The thing with him is that he kind of makes movies like that sometimes, like Space Cowboys.
Yeah.
Fucking
Space Cowboys, great
movie.
He directed Space Cowboys.
He directed Space Cowboys. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Sully.
What's the other one? Sully. Sully was a good movie too, actually.
Richard Jewell.
I never saw Richard Jewell.
I saw that one.
Was pretty good.
It's a good movie.
But those are not top Clint Eastwood movies. Top Clint Eastwood movies would be like Mystic River, Unforgiven.
Jersey Boys.
He did direct Jersey Boys.
Invictus.
Letters to Iwo Jima.
I mean, that's a war movie. It's pretty good. Spielberg produced that.
Flags of the Father.
That's the sequel.
The Unforgiven.
Flags of the Father.
Yeah, he won Best Director Oscar for The Unforgiven.
Did he also win Best Director for $1 Million Baby?
Best Director for $1 Million Baby or Mystic River. I can't remember. It's one of those two.
What was his first movie, which was featured?
I think it was Dollar Baby.
In this movie.
What was that question?
In this movie, while he's shooting at the bank robbers, behind him on a marquee is his directorial debut. What is his directorial debut?
I forget what that's called.
Oh, Josie Wells?
Dusty, Do Me Dusty or something? I don't remember what it's called.
Mean, you're kind of on the right track. Play Misty for me.
That's
Do
it.
Me Dusty.
I'm like, I can't remember what it was. I obviously never saw that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Do Me Dusty.
Do Me Up Dusty.
Right. Where are we?
We see it's after he gets off the. I was gonna say this about Scorpio. Another interesting thing is he doesn't seem to have like a type that he's like going for. He's not like killing just women. He's going all over the map. Like we see him in the beginning kill a woman.
He likes to kill people.
He just likes to kill.
And he's going off type. He's gonna go for a Catholic priest or an African American. And then he goes for the kids, and then he's all over. He's just a fucking psychopath.
So they
the
find
kids
out
scene on the bus, by the way, that's a wild scene.
Yeah,
that's a wild scene.
So they find and that's what I was gonna say is he was given a lot of freedom to explore his character.
You just like hit the kids. Go ahead, whatever kid you want to hit, go for it. We got permission.
He told him. I think the director's words were "go nuts" on the bus. Was like that was his words when he's screaming about killing all their mothers and shit, because that was his. I think that was his deepest or one thing that was definitely wrong with him is, or at least he was basing off of most stereotypes of serial killers. They all have mother problems, mother issues, from fucking Ed Gein to name your serial killer. So he started screaming about that.
Jack the Ripper.
All ad-libbed. He was just said, go nuts. Literally just crazy. The guy was a little nuts, I think.
Oh yeah.
So now he finds that he killed a 10-year-old boy. And they find a new letter. I think he is asking for $200,000 now.
Wait, he killed a 10-year-old boy? They found the body?
They remember when they chased him off the roof.
Yeah, the African American boy.
He didn't kill him, but then they find out later that he murdered a 10-year-old African American boy based on a letter. Police think the Scorpio's next villain will be a victim will be a Catholic priest. So they set a trap.
Mm-hmm.
You guys understand?
Wait, what is it? No, isn't that when they get the letter about the 14-year-old girl? Is when with the body of the. No, that was up on the rooftop because the other cop calls him. He's like, "Yo, we got a fucking 40-06 casing up here on this roof," and then they go check it out. And then is that where they find the next letter?
Yeah, about the 14-year-old girl. They receive another letter from Scorpio, claims to have kidnapped Anne Mary Deacon, threatens to kill her if he doesn't get $200,000.
Yeah, and that shit pisses Harry the fuck off.
Yeah, he ain't happy.
No. He's trying to do whatever the fuck it takes. All the cops are like, "Whoa, we got to work within parameters of the law," but
he don't do that.
He's
Gator
like,
don't play
"No,
no shit.
Gator don't play no shit."
So they set up a sting with a Catholic priest.
Yeah, because it's been a long time since Gator took any shit. Sorry,
is that right? Or what happens next?
Definitely never took shit.
Oh no! Next
the next. Are you talking about?
The next thing that happens is like he gets the ransom letter. He was like, I need $200,000. So they're like, all right, we need a fucking bag man. You want to be the bag man, Mr. Eastwood? And he's like, yeah, I'll be the bag man, dude. I'm gonna go find him. I'm gonna fucking give him the dollar bills.
He just wants to be in the thick of it.
And then
he
wants
to
cut his fucking dick off. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find him. I'm gonna hold him down. I'm gonna cut his fucking dick off with a pair of raw scissors, maybe a spoon. So he takes the bag. He said, I'm paraphrasing. So he gets the bag, gets the money, and he's doing this like what's the best Die Hard movie? 3. He's doing this like Die Hard 3. All right, Mr. McClane, now go here for 15 minutes, or I will kill everybody in the school. So again, another homage.
Yeah.
Another homage to this movie. It was exactly the same. He's like, I'm not gonna have time to get down there.
You're right. You're right.
There was a point where someone was on the phone. He had to get him off the phone. And then he meets him at Mount Davidson, hands off the money. Oh, Chico's not supposed to be following him, but he is.
Yeah. Did we talk about the suicide yet?
What suicide?
The scene where he stops the guy from doing suicide. That was one of the best scenes.
I didn't feel how that was like that important to the main movie. Shout out to Davidson, by the way, because we're going to visit Mount Davidson. Just shout out to Davidson. Just wanted to
shout out to Davidson.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's in somewhere in between, right? That's after the peeping Tom thing, and then this is before the Bagman scene.
So at one point they're chilling, and someone's like, "Yo, there's a guy about to jump off the building," and he goes, "Let me up there. I'll go take care of it." For some reason, again, Martin Riggs.
This is the craziest shot of the movie. It's just a wide shot of him going up, and it cuts to it over the shoulder of the guy, and it's like for like 10 seconds, it's just like. And then finally he gets there and he's like, "You're not gonna jump, are you?"
I learned how to operate one of those last week, by the way.
You didn't go that high though. That guy went way higher than we went.
No, probably not.
He went super high. He goes up. He's like, "You're not gonna make
60 feet."
He's like, "I'm not stepping off." He's like, "I don't want you to get off. I just want to know your name, because when you hit the ground, your body's gonna splatter. I'm not gonna be able to tell who you are." He was like, I don't like that story. And then he tries to fight him, and he saves his life. Yes. Unlike Martin Riggs, he asks him for a cigarette, handcuffs him to himself, and then they both jump off.
That's a great scene.
That's a great scene.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're back now. They meet up. These run around payphones. He meets up. He finally meets up with him, right? And he's wearing a mask. And he's,
at Mount Davidson, he's there at the cross.
Yeah.
Hold on. This is the scene where I really liked Chico Gonzalez, like when he was following him and like would always be at the spot and shit. Like that's where I was like, all right, this guy's good, man. He's not just some fucking dude just wandering around, not knowing what's going on. He's actually there to help him.
So there's before all this, they're at the police station. He was like, "You got to be the bag man." He's like, "But I told him we're not gonna fuck with him, so nobody can follow you." He was like, "All right, sure, nobody can follow me." And then,
but he unmolested.
Yeah, they get. I think that was specific in the second one. They said molested a lot when they had the kids.
Yeah, he's like, "You said you won't molest him," or something. What was he yelling? He's like, "Don't molest me."
He will remain unmolested.
He will remain unmolested.
He will remain.
This is before he doesn't have the kids yet. He's they're chasing him around. He says, "No, Chico can't follow you because we told him that no one's gonna fuck with him." He's like, "All right." So he gets like this wireless mic system in 71, which is cool. But he was like, if you go in a tunnel or more than 20 yards away, you're fucking done. So he's listening. So yeah, like you were saying, Schwartz, Chico's just always there. He knows where he's going. He's always in a good spot for him. He's looking out for him. He's his partner. He's got his back.
Yeah, he's a good partner.
When he really has his back when they meet up and what happens? He comes in the mask. He makes him drop the gun. He takes the gun from him, makes a comment. "Ooh, you got a big gun."
Yeah. That's another thing we got to talk about a little bit too about this guy real quick. Just the bad guy is he's like, not only is he killing at will, but like he's giggling. He's acting like he's like almost like childlike in his joy of what he's doing. He's a bad, twisted kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we really talked about that. He's like a pervert. He's just a bad guy all around. He's just kind of a shitty person. I mean, obviously, a guy who kills people. Exactly. He's killing everybody. I know we talked about that, but he's just killing people like for fun. Like this guy's a bad dude.
It's unlike a lot of other movies. There, like we were saying before, there's no backstory to this guy. We don't need to know why this guy is the way he is, what tortured soul he is, because we don't give a fuck. We want it's clear distinction between good and bad. And if there is a gray area, it's Harry, not the bad guy.
Exactly. That's the bad guy's bad guy.
Bad guy's
like
the
Joker.
guy.
Kind of like Joker in a way.
Yeah, and Harry's Batman. There would be no fucking Bruce Wayne without Dirty Harry. Wait, was there Batman before?
Batman's pretty old. I don't know how old it is, but I think it's at least the 50s.
I mean, that's a vigilante.
Yeah, the first Batman movie was 66, I believe, or 65.
So I mean, he's not the first.
Yeah, but Batman was more of a detective. Harry's not really. I guess Harry's a detective too, but Batman's more of like. Batman does it in more like cool ways, using gadgets and like cool technology.
Disguise.
Where Harry's kind of like a redneck detective.
He just doesn't have the money.
A bit of a cowboy.
Bit of a cowboy.
But
not, you know.
Sure, because you hate cowboys.
He's not riding a horse.
No, I don't hate cowboys, but I think Clint Eastwood was trying to get away from that a little bit and have a new character. So I don't think he wanted it to be that. I mean, there's a hint of it. What makes you think that? He's more charismatic. He's more charismatic in these movies.
He seems pretty like mellow, man of a few words still.
He is, but he's telling he's funnier. He's telling he's a little quippier. You know, he's jabbing him. In those other movies,
he has more lines. He has some great lines.
Not only that, but in those other movies, he's not really telling jokes or making he's kind of just telling people to do things. Or like,
I guess he doesn't have a cool.
I mean? He doesn't have
I know what you're thinking monologue.
Yeah.
You got to ask yourself. He doesn't have. I guess the man with no name. I don't think does that. I don't really know.
He does got a very expressive face. So
is this one of the first movies to where like a motto became like said in a lot of other parodied? Is this one of those first times?
I don't know if it'd be the first. But
I mean, there's a lot of Sunset.
What?
I mean, I guess no, because there's been movies before. It's like Sunset Boulevard's got some pretty incredible lines, and that people say a lot. And but this is probably one of the ones that.
What this had.
People say lines from the very first movies ever made.
It was quotable.
Sam.
But this is probably one of the most quotable all time.
Quotable film.
Oh yeah, one of the most,
very
if not the most quotable Clint Eastwood movie for sure.
For sure.
And we just discovered by conversation, like basically Lethal Weapon is Dirty Harry. So it's constantly repeated.
It's definitely the blueprint.
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon's a comedy.
Yeah, it's just a comedy version of Dirty Harry. And Dirty Harry's had its funny moments.
Buddy action comedy at BAC.
Yeah. But at the core of it, it's a comedy. Like that's the thing I love about Tarantino movies too, is that core of them. I don't know why I mentioned it, but at the core of them, they're all comedies. Like you laugh out loud in every single Tarantino movie, every single one. Yeah. No matter what it is, you're laughing out loud at least once or twice.
Yeah.
So I was laughing out loud when he screamed after Chico shot him. Or no, he screamed after he got stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's attacking.
He stabbed him in the leg. Yeah.
They're not at a cemetery. They're at like Mount Davidson. He's attacking. Dirty Harry's he's getting his ass kicked by this guy, which was also, I thought, a little interesting. Chico comes, saves the day, shoots at him. He says, "Don't kill him, Chico." And then he shoots Chico, and then Dirty Harry stabs Zodiac or Scorpio in the leg. But then Scorpio still escapes. Yeah. Rolling down the hill. I think he loses the money. He then they go. What happens then? How did they get to the stadium? Because they go back to police, and he was like,
they're at the doctor's office, and then he's visiting Gonzalez, and then the doctor tells him about a man that had a knife wound
because they were looking for a man with a knife.
Yeah. And then he said he doesn't know the guy's name, but he knows that he recognized him from working at the stadium, and he believed he lived at the stadium somehow. The
groundskeeper let him live there. That's why you said he was Poe. Is he
poor,
or is he just trying to be off the grid?
I think he's just retarded.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
can't say that.
He's all patched up. They're both.
I just
I
did.
know you did.
He goes to the stadium and chases him down. Chases him down to the middle of the stadium. He says, "Freeze!" And he freezes. And he stops. And then he shoots him anyway. And then he
finds him at the hospital, right? Like, doesn't he know he's at the hospital for some reason?
No, he's at the stadium. He was at the hospital. Dirty Harry was, and that the doctor told him that he lives at the stadium. And then they go to the stadium that night. Yeah.
That scene is so good.
Turn the lights on.
Go on and shit. Like that was a great scene.
They turn the lights on. He's in the middle of the state. Scorpio's in the middle of the stadium. He stops, turns around, and says, "All right, you got me. I'm good."
He says, "Don't molest me."
Yeah. And then
my butthole.
Dirty Harry shoots him in the same leg that he got stabs in, and then he goes and steps on his leg and tries to get the info out of him.
Where's the girl?
Where is she? And then
where's the girl?
One of them, I don't know how they did this shot, but it's like this crazy. It almost seems like it was done in reverse, but it's like comes out like all the way up.
Yeah, it's crazy aerial.
Like an aerial shot.
Yeah, I remember that. Very Tony Scott.
I heard someone say
one shot kind of went to another, but it was still seamless.
Think so? It looks seamless.
I felt like there was like a cut from like after it pulled back. You see the whole stadium, then it pulled back more to like the whole city. I feel like somewhere in there that must have been like a little bit of like just a transitional cut.
I don't remember
felt
the
like
shot.
that, but it was just this giant.
I'm watching it right
pullback.
now, and it's actually there's a lot of wind.
Let's watch it. Let's try to figure out what happened.
I don't know if I can play an HBO thing over share screen.
So describe it to me.
Oh, you can't see it, right?
Where's the girl? I have the right for a lawyer. Oh, wait, that's not. I want a doctor. I want a lawyer. I have my rights.
You can't actually see it.
Where's the girl?
It's I heard someone describe it as someone might have parachuted in, and then they reversed it.
That's wacky.
But watching it,
I
his
thought it was just a
jacket's
helicopter
very much flapping in the wind. So
it seemed like a helicopter.
Seems like a helicopter.
I think back then helicopters were the it thing to be doing with that.
Because it goes up, it's uncut. It's uncut all the way up above the stadium, above the lights, way above, and then it just fades black.
Yeah. Because
some of my favorite pictures of all time are Tony Scott in a helicopter with a giant camera on his lap shooting through the viewfinder with like, it's insane. You guys should look those things up. They're pretty awesome.
Because it's like those types of shots are very commonplace now, but like having it in that setting, it was very like a sudden like pullback. Like
it's great. The editing in this movie,
it was a very good.
The editing
moment.
and cinematography in this movie is fucking awesome.
I agree.
It doesn't stick to the usual look of things. It takes chances. It purposely does things in ways where it's supposed to jar you and you're supposed to be a little thrown off. Like it's great. There's a lot of movies that do that, and I've seen, but I mean, considering the year this was made, maybe this is, I mean, as far as it goes with a cop movie, this is definitely a type of cop movie that I feel like was the first of its kind, and that like cops weren't just doing the right thing or viewed as doing the right thing all the time. You know what I mean? That's interesting. Maybe not the first.
Line.
There's
the line
more,
of good and bad is definitely blurred. Maybe it's one of those like where they're one of the first anti-heroes, maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
It seemed, I don't know about it's hard to say if it's the first time, but yeah, he's definitely an early example of that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just really like how they start. I feel like this is definitely where they start exploring more of like the justice side of it all, because after this happens, he does get him arrested, but because he tortured him and went into all of it got thrown away, right?
Yeah.
After
he tortured him, so they let him out.
Well, whatever that fucking bullshit was, he like went in without a warrant or whatever. Even the gun, they had the gun sitting right there, but they can't do anything with it because it was unlawful seizure.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he is ordered to lay off.
He tells him too. He's like, he's gonna do it again. You guys let him out. He's gonna fucking do it again.
He says, I'll lay off, but eventually he's gonna stub his toe, and I'm fucking be right there when he is. And he's like, you do not follow him. But what does he do?
He follows him.
He motherfucking follows him.
Dirty Harold 101.
Dirty H 101 follows him for an unknown period of time through strip clubs and titty bars and
Dirty
gay
Harold
bars
got a life, dude. He's just a cop.
This is what he does. He ain't got a wife, ain't got a life. This is he's.
Oh wait,
he's
we forgot about his
job.
wife. His wife was killed. Remember, we didn't talk about that. His wife.
We kind of talk about
somebody.
Kind of brought up when he's talking to Chico in this hospital.
Yeah,
Chico's in the hospital.
Talking to Chico's wife.
Yeah.
What did he say? His wife
Chico
was killed.
says,
How'd she die?
I'm not gonna
driver.
be a police officer anymore. I'm gonna be a teacher now. Then he walks down the stairs with Chico's wife, and Chico's like, how does your wife handle this? And she's like, not very well. She's like, well, what did she do? Well, she's dead now. And yeah, like Jake said, he said she was driving home from work, drunk driver crossed over the road and killed her. And that was all there is to it. So, he's got a little chip on his shoulder.
At that point.
You don't think he was dirty before that? You think he was?
I don't know. What do you think?
I certainly think he leaned into giving less fucks at that point. I'm sure that took away some fucks to give for sure.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's his wife, dead wife. Always a motivator for nefarious things.
Interesting way to tell it too. Like 75% into the movie, you find that out. That's interesting.
It's kind of referenced a couple times, right? Don't they kind of like mention a wife or something, and then he gives him a look, and he's like, "Oh, sorry about that." Like
in the very beginning, when he goes to the doctor after the bank heist, the doctor says like something about like, what's your wife gonna think? And then he looks at him and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I fucking forgot."
Oh,
so it's also possibly recent.
Yeah,
it could have been.
Yeah,
they never say specifically one.
But yeah, then
I like that about this movie, man. You're giving these characters that are fucking been through shit and have specific ways like to a T, and they don't give you all the backstory, but they're interesting enough and it's told in a way to where you don't need it. You don't even want it. You're just great. You don't need. What I mean? That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, they give you enough to kind of paint it in your head.
The characters are doing interesting things, being weird. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So he's been tracking him. He's tracking him. He's following him. So Scorpio playing on because this whole movie's about the victim versus the
rights of victim versus or rights of the criminal versus rights of the police.
Yeah, and it's or rights of the popularizing the criminal, like worrying more about them than the victim. That's what it is. Worrying more about the rights of the criminal than the rights of the victim. And so Scorpio plays on this, and he already knows that because why did they let him go? Because I guess he didn't see his face at Mount Davidson when he handed off the money because he was wearing the mask, so that when he got him at the stadium, there was no proof that was him. He just found a guy in the stadium that
I think it was just how he went about getting him. Like he went into the stadium without a warrant. He
tortured him.
He tortured the guy, and at the end of the day, the girl was already dead. Like he just what he did was technically illegal. Yeah, even though he basically went in there and proved that the dude was the killer. They're like, well, your proof was done
illegally.
What was taken illegally?
I get
so like
that, but like if he saw the face, I mean, I'm just trying to think.
I don't know what the face. I don't know if the face has anything to do with it.
He didn't see his face when they handed off the money, when he knew 100% that was him. Right. He didn't see his face, but when he saw him at the stadium, seeing his face didn't mean anything because he didn't know, because he couldn't link him. Like he didn't see his face originally, so how could he say that was him?
Yeah, all he had was the limp. I think he's like the guy was stabbed in the leg, or like so from.
But I think he shot him in the same leg, so like I don't think they could be like, oh, it was I think that I'm trying to think that's what. So anyway, this guy is now getting smart. He's like, all right, so they know that he's after me, so I'm gonna go pay this guy $200 to beat the shit out of me.
Which I thought was a really cool scene because I didn't really see that coming. Did you see that coming at all? I thought he was gonna buy weapons. I thought he was buying weapons from this dude.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't know I didn't know. I thought he was still being followed by Clint Eastwood at that point.
Well, when that happened,
I
was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, and then I got what he was doing right away. Yeah, he's gonna blame him, but I did not see that coming.
That graphic, like they stuck with that for like that beating for a while. They showed his face all fucked up.
Got all
which also proves the fact that goes more to it of like this guy's insane. He's willing to take that beating too.
Yeah.
But he's also not dumb, crazy, not stupid, as they say
Oh, I'm not saying he's stupid. He's just crazy. He's just willing to do whatever.
And then he does that to make it seem that Callahan beat the shit out of him, that Harry beat the shit out of him, and then even furthermore, Harry's people, his chief or whatever, was like, you leave this fucking guy alone. And
yeah, he said, but right after that, he goes to the chief, and the chief's like, he shows him the video. He's like, they said you did. And he was like, did you do it? And he was like, you want my badge? And he was like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just asking you I want an answer. And he goes, nah, I didn't fucking do it. He was like, all right, well, stop following him.
How do we know you didn't do it? Well, he looks so good or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He was like, because if I did it, he'd fucking look worse than I'm gonna kill him. Basically. Damn, yeah. Jake, I was reading a thing about those bangs. I don't think you should be drinking those.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Apparently super creatine kills your kidneys.
Anyway. Well, so does drinking alcohol. And I don't do that, so balance.
All right.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. Whatever. Who gives a shit?
I think it's worse on the liver, alcohol.
Probably. Why don't you just not drink energy drinks? So I drink them. Do you do it for energy, or is it the caffeine?
Just go back to Reign, dude.
Hopelessly addicted.
To what?
Reign? I don't know.
Go back to Reigns instead of bangs. Just look it up.
What are you addicted to?
Look it up. I care about you. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. The energy it gives me.
I like coffee. I've switched solely to coffee. I'm not drinking any more energy drinks. I'm on coffee. Coffee's good. And if you know when you're drinking too much coffee.
All right. You just start taking shits everywhere?
Yeah, shits. You don't sleep very good.
Yeah.
Dude, you drink a couple of those energy drinks, sometimes your heart will explode. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it recommends you not to exceed more than one a day, like on the can.
And you've drank 3. I've seen it.
Only in certain circumstances.
Hey, what can I say? I love cocaine. So he goes out, he leaves the hospital, goes to Zodiac, or Scorpio does. Scorpio leaves the hospital.
Said that so many times.
Goes to, and I'm not meaning to, convenience store, and is like, hey, you're the guy who gets robbed all the time. And the guy's like, yeah, I get robbed all the time. That's why I got this gun. He was like, sweet. And he gets a bottle and smashes the guy in the head, who was apparently not prepared for this one. He fucking outwitted him after he's been robbed 14 times in 3 months. Steals his gun and then goes and hijacks a school bus full of kids and a bus driver. And then calls the police and says, hey, I got hostages. I want. Does he ask for more money, or does he just say I want? No, he needs.
He wants a plane and money. I think it's the money and a plane.
Yeah, he wants out of there. Oh yeah, that's right. He wants a plane. He's gonna put the kids on the plane. They're gonna fly somewhere, and then something else is gonna happen. And Clint's like, Dirty Harry's like, I can't believe you guys are still playing this guy's game. I'm gonna go fucking kill him. And
I love how direct he is too. I'm gonna go.
He's like, he can't. He's like, we got to stop him now. We can't let him get on a plane with kids. So the dopest shot of the movie.
We'll fuel the jet. Don't worry.
He's yeah. I mean, that's what the cops are going with the plan. But you know who doesn't go with plans? Mr. Harry, Mr. Dirty Harry. They don't call him Dirty Harry for nothing. Why do they call him Dirty Harry?
Because he always gets the dirty jobs.
He always gets the shit end of this.
He doesn't play nice. He plays dirty.
Because part of it, early on, the part of the dialogue with him and Chico, it's like, why do they call you Dirty Harry? And then after the attempted suicide, he's like, this is another reason why they call me Dirty Harry. I always get the dirty jobs.
Yeah. And when he's a peeping Tom, he's like, that's why they call you Dirty Harry. I think it's because he doesn't shower.
Yeah.
Bad hygiene.
He's dirty and he's hairy. Those are just 2 adjectives, really.
Yeah, I've been called
As
both.
You said that to him, he's like, actually, you think they're saying Dirty Harry, but they're saying Dirty Harry. It's because I don't shower and I'm very hairy. And then he just goes, oh. What happened to Anthony?
I don't know. I was about to ask that.
Oh, what happened to me?
Yeah,
gone. That boy gone.
Everything. Your screen went black.
Black.
Oh, no.
But you're still there.
Now you got a green. There, so. Now you got a green box, but nothing's there.
Oh,
there you are.
We're back.
There he is.
So what happens now? They're on the bus. There's a bunch of other shit that happens in the middle. He calls the mayor and they're talking on the phone. Is there anything that had any important aspects of that? Nope. Okay, cool. So he's on the bus.
No.
He's the Scorpio's on the bus. He's making the kids sing "Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round." Real creepy. He's screaming at him. One kid's like, "I want to see my mommy," and he smacks him in the face.
That's when he loses it.
And I heard he really did that too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know about that. He calls the mayor, he tells him, "I have all these kids and I'm gonna kill them all." And Dirty Harry's like, "That ain't gonna fly on my watch." So he goes. Harry finds the nearest bridge to stand on. The bus, dope shot. Like I love that was the most Batman shot of the whole movie. He's driving around. He's like, "Wheels on the bus, go right." He's like smacking kids, telling them he's gonna kill their parents, tell them they're all adopted. And he looks around and he sees Harry just super stoic, man, like man no name style on this top of this fucking railroad track, and they can't like diverge for some reason. They can't take a left. They go onto the track. Harry jumps on the bus. And I think he did all his own stunts.
Yep.
Jumps on the bus.
See that somewhere.
He's getting shot at from underneath. The Scorpio's shooting at him, trying to kill him. Bus crashes. Oh, kills does he kill the bus driver? Let's say he kills the bus driver. Kills the bus driver.
I don't think he kills the bus driver.
Let's say he did. He kills the bus driver.
That's the Joker's job.
He gets on he's swerving the bus left and right. Kids are probably dead too. He crashes the bus, except for this one. He takes hostage, goes out on the dock.
No, he doesn't take it hostage.
He takes a kid hostage.
That kid was fishing. He just runs out, and then Dirty Harry chases him.
Oh, yeah.
Later, the kid's fishing.
Okay, right on. So this kid's just fishing.
Did you even watch this movie?
Doesn't give a fuck about the bus crash that just happened behind him and all the dead bodies everywhere. He takes.
That's the thing about Harry, dude. Harry gets the job done. Got to make an omelet. Got to break some eggs.
Well, no, I'm saying this kid, he should have been distracted.
What's he going to do? Stop and take care of dead kids? Those kids are already dead. Move on.
So let me get my alligator gar out of this fucking swamp. So he's fishing. He takes the fishing kid hostage. Oh, but all these bus driving scenes, great. More great San Francisco going under the bridge. San Francisco in the background, up the hills. Really nice hill shots. I think where the monkeys live in Planet of the Apes, the new ones. So now we're at the end. He's got him, and then the speech happens again. What is the speech?
Yeah,
you want me to
he
say
says,
I know what you're thinking.
Lucky?
Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all the excitement, I've been kind of lost track myself. But being this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, I would blow your head clean off. You got to ask yourself one question. And he adds punk at the end. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you?
Punk's a good exclamation point.
Punk. He doesn't even open his teeth when he says it. Punk.
Cool. Dirty Harold, great character. Now, I didn't know that this was a series of movies, and I was excited to watch the rest of them. And then I read that the rest of them are doo-doo.
Yeah.
Like
most sequel situations.
Yeah, I heard on one, I think just like a YouTube review, that they literally get worse like one by one as they go. So like
he's not a cop
not the same director. Don Siegel only did this one.
Yeah, I think it's a different director every time, and even Eastwood does one of them. He does the Sudden Impact, which is I believe the 4th one, which is where the line of "Go ahead, make my day."
Yeah, that wasn't in this movie. How disappointing was that?
I mean, I didn't really think about it till afterward, but
me neither.
Till after I realized, like, that's also a Dirty Harry thing. But
well, now we know that
watch all 5 of them.
Is a guy, an amalgamation. All the things we know of him is an amalgamation of 5 movies. I thought was one. That's crazy.
Yeah. And this is one of those movies, and probably other ones, where it's like I feel like I watched this or saw it, or at least parts of it as a kid.
I've never seen it.
It'd be like maybe my dad or like one of my grandfathers would like be watching, and I would be like playing with bullshit in the background or something. Like I remember certain imagery. Yeah,
I would have remembered this movie. This movie is pretty memorable if you've never seen it, in my opinion. Yeah. It's a pretty memorable movie.
Yeah.
Spoiler: he had one more bullet. He shot only 5.
Oh yeah.
He kills Scorpio in the end.
As he's holding the kid hostage, which is like a baller move, which is
that's right. He has the kid, and this is another. It shows like how crazy he is. He like smiling and laughing. He's like, "Drop the gun, drop the gun," and he's like, "All right, I'll drop the gun." And he's like this. He's like, I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna drop it. And then he's like, let him drop it, and he shoots him.
Kidding.
Now, what if they did the old shoot the hostage technique, like in Speed? Because he still could have gotten it. Because he could have shot the kid. Kid would have fallen away, and then he could have gotten a clean shot at the hostage. I mean, at the perpetrator.
I think if he would have shot the kid, that would have been baller, and I would have been like, "Holy shit, he shot the kid!" And
just
the
kneecap
kid survived.
He'll survive.
He's not in the kid shooting business.
But I don't think that you should be shooting kids.
He does.
I don't condone shooting kids.
Yeah,
I feel like I shouldn't condone it.
He never does anything too bad. He's just trying to kill it. He's just trying to get the bad guy.
He shoots him.
Dirty Harry's a good guy.
And then he kills him, and then he throws his badge in the water, and he ceases to be an inspector. Until the second one.
Dirty Harry 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Back as a cop.
I don't know. I don't know if he's a cop or like a private investigator or just like a vigilante guy.
He becomes the guy everybody knows to do things in the second one.
I think something like maybe he gets brought back to the police force because I think it's like about crooked cops or something.
The last shot's epic. Fucking pull out of not even the city really, just like behind San Francisco, possibly Oakland.
Same.
I like how he throws his badge into the water that the guy is now in. Like he's almost disposing both the police force and the villain into the same place.
Yeah. What are you saying at the end? What is he saying at the end there? Is there a message? I know we said we shouldn't think too deeply about this movie, but is he saying that?
You gotta have thoughts.
Maybe he's saying that we don't like the way I got to do this is the way I got to do this, and I can't be a cop if I do it my way. Maybe that's what he's saying.
Yeah, right. Probably. There's too many rules.
Yeah. Maybe he's saying we don't need cops in this world. We need justice.
It was hashtag defund the police is basically what
he's basically Batman without the bat suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Batman Batman doesn't want to be the hero.
Batman wants vengeance. Dirty Harry can get on board with vengeance.
Is he a vengeance guy?
He's
who? Harry or Batman?
Harry. When is he acting in vengeful ways?
Harry's not a vengeance guy.
He's not killing drunk drivers.
He wants justice.
Guy.
Yeah, you're right.
He'd be out there fucking killing drunk drivers if he was a vengeance guy.
You're right. Justice is a better word. Don't kill the messenger. You know, I just delivered it.
Fucking idiot.
You guys ever shot a 44 Magnum?
No. Nope.
We should all go out and shoot a 44 Magnum. Feel that power.
I want to shoot two at the same time.
I don't know what range is going to let you do that, so we got to go out in the woods. But that's fine.
Woods it is.
And we got to also have to find two.
Fly backwards.
2 44 Magnums.
We'll rent one. We'll buy the bullet and rent the gun.
I was watching a thing on how the 44 Magnum became a character in this movie and became like, after this movie came out, the price of that gun skyrocketed. Everyone wanted this gun, even though it's the most impractical gun to be carrying as a sidearm. It's a hunting gun. It was made for hunting. Again, I don't know what it was hunting, but certainly things bigger than humans or human size, at least, knowing in the brush that you could take something down from 20 yards away with a pistol kind of gun, not a self-defense kind of gun. And I heard it was compared to the Desert Eagle of modern day movies, how that's just the coolest, biggest looking gun that you could have at the time. And that's why it was in there, because they wanted Dirty Harry to have the biggest and the best.
Yeah. It's fitting. It's super
pretty
fitting.
dope.
It's almost like I feel like you know what else is an influence on that? You guys have seen Snatch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guy Ritchie's Snatch. What's his name has that big gun too, and I feel like you probably got the idea from this. He's got that big Magnum. I think it's a different type of Magnum actually. It's the one with the it's got a long barrel, but it's not. It's thicker.
Yeah, I don't remember what. Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever, dude. Look it up.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
It was a Taurus Model 85.
Whoa.
Don't mind that guy.
Tell him to stop being a bully. It's not cool anymore. Bullying isn't cool.
Taking out the garbage.
Yeah.
Jake says, "Take out the garbage, yourself included."
Yeah, take it out and stay.
Give
this movie a number. Ask Joel. Ask Joel if he's ever seen this movie.
Joel, have you ever seen Dirty Harry?
Yes.
All right, so on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate it?
Maybe a 4?
A 4? 5? Damn. Okay.
1 out of 1 to 10.
Kind of a product of its time, so it's a little slow, I think, but I think it's good. The first one for sure.
First one's the best.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was surprised that I didn't find it slow. Honestly, like I was pretty into this movie, and I was thinking, watching movies from this time, I always go in kind of
skeptical.
Yeah, skeptical is a good word.
Skeptical house.
Yeah. So yeah, I approach with patience often when I know I'm going to watch a slower.
Yeah,
movie.
well, we've seen Cool Hand Luke. Yeah, this was no Cool Hand Luke. This was a good movie.
This was Cool Hand Luke. If it was an action film,
if we're gonna say watch Cool Hand Luke or watch Dirty Harry, we're gonna go watch Dirty Harry and not Cool Hand Luke.
I'll take Dirty Harry over Luke. I would watch Dirty Harry over Cool Hand Luke 1,000 times. Dirty Harry's a good movie. Cool Hand Luke's garbage.
There's no egg eating contest in this movie.
That's the worst movie ever. He goes to jail for jumping over fucking meters.
Worst movie ever.
He was he was cutting the meters off and taking the money. He wasn't just hopping fucking meters.
I didn't remember that.
You guys want to hear what Leonard Maltin had to say for Dirty Harry?
I do.
Of course. Good old Lenny Maltz.
Find it.
He should have bookmarked that shit.
It did. Dirty Harry. Leonard Maltin.
Check
Dirty
the glossary
Harry.
first.
3.5 stars. Don Siegel.
Very good.
Directed riveting action with
yeah, I can't even read.
Today, Junior. Riveting action film with Eastwood as iconoclastic cop determined to bring in a psychotic killer, Robinson, even if he has to break some rules. Brilliantly filmed and edited for maximum impact. Jazzy score by Lalo Schifrin. Filmed in tribute to the police officers of San Francisco who gave their lives in the line of duty. Followed by Magnum Force, The Enforcer, Sudden Impact, and The Deadpool. Panavision, rated R.
Yeah, I agree. It was very well edited, and the cinematography was great, and felt very real. It felt very gritty, and I think the use of like practical lighting and darkness and capturing the characters in like places that you don't usually see was done very well. I think it's a really good movie. I guess this Don Siegel guy was a pretty established director. Like he had worked.
Who was
before. He worked
originally one of the original directors for this movie?
Who's that?
Who dat?
Irving Kershner.
I read that too, actually.
Who dat?
He wrote Empire.
A little movie called Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, he didn't write Empire. I'm sorry. He directed Empire.
Oh, yeah. All right. But yeah, have you seen any other Don Siegel films?
I saw Escape from Alcatraz, which is another Clint Eastwood movie.
It's another.
I have seen that movie. Great movie.
Another in San Francisco. Yeah, I should watch that. Now I want to see that movie.
It's a good movie. It's a really good movie, actually.
Clint Eastwood is a San Francisco. He lives in San Francisco. So I think that was one of the reasons he was like, let's make this movie in San Francisco. I think Dirty Harry was originally a New York movie.
Yeah,
I could see that.
They did The Beguiled together. I saw the newer version of The Beguiled maybe 10 years ago was a Sofia Coppola vehicle.
Yeah, with Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell was the Eastwood character.
I've never seen The Beguiled. Is that a worth watch?
That's
fine. This guy. That's this guy.
Fine.
So The Beguiled was made by Don Siegel, and then
originally,
and you saw the Sofia Coppola version.
I saw the Coppola version.
Okay,
but not the original with Eastwood.
That was a roundabout way of talking about that movie, dude.
Yeah,
I just wanted to understand.
Let me give it a 5.9.
5.9.
5.9.
All right.
Okay.
5.99. Go 9.9.
I'm gonna go 6.9.
6.9, nice. I was gonna give it an 8. That was very good.
I'm gonna go 6.9.
Very influential. Very.
I think the influentialist of this movie and the things that you see in this movie that you see in a lot of other things, including, like I said, the first thing I said about it was the whole Fincher aspect of it. I love David Fincher, and this is a movie that I could actually saw that I was like, man, this and Chinatown are probably the two movies that I was like, this is like a David Fincher movie. You know what I mean?
Is Fincher a San Francisco guy? Because he has a couple movies in San Francisco, doesn't he? I know that
he grew
the
up.
Game.
He grew up there. Yeah.
The Game is San Francisco.
The Game is San Francisco. Yeah.
Okay. Question mark.
Yes.
And then obviously Zodiac.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember the other ones, but I'm sure maybe there are.
I think that's it. Actually.
Seven
Panic Room.
Could have been
Doubtfire. Alien 3
Seven
was actually set in San Francisco.
Alien 3?
Yeah.
Like a future San Francisco or like
Nope. Modern day.
no? Okay. Oh, red.
2015 actually.
Just
Same
like
year as,
the
Back to the
underground
Future
part.
Two.
The underground part. Yeah.
Also
the
set in San
problem was
Francisco.
wild.
Biff
Bunch of
Tannen's
aliens.
Biff Tannen's in San Francisco.
Biff Tannen. Cool guy.
You hear Tarantino said one of the only perfect movies is Back to the Future.
Now he ain't wrong.
I didn't say it was wrong. I'm just saying.
Movie. It's a great movie. Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't he have like a list of like 6 or something?
Yeah, it was like Jaws, The Exorcist.
Is this a B movie, Dirty Harry?
A B movie?
I think it has the look and the feel, but it definitely wasn't.
So what does that mean? What does that
Like
mean?
It's a $4 million movie.
It has the, like you said,
I mean,
it has
that's
the vibe
not
of
that much money. Even back
film.
then, that wasn't much money.
No, $4 million.
So Clint Eastwood must have like took like nothing to make this movie, and like knowing that like and he made probably mad money off the sequels.
Yeah, but it was like the highest grossing movie of 1971 or something. It was like super like the fourth or something.
Yeah, I think it was his production company too, right?
Yeah, that's not a B movie.
So was this Clint Eastwood like making his first character away from like other characters he was known for, like
the westerns?
Yeah, it was.
I think this was like an early departure from westerns. Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, he
I don't know if it was first non-western.
I mean, it's before Schwarzenegger and Stallone and fucking Van Damme and all those guys.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he was definitely an early action hero guy for sure.
Those were like modern day, but he has contemporaries. He has like the other guys who did like who did the movie
I mean, I guess Steve McQueen was a guy
Steve
like
McQueen.
that.
Steve McQueen, and then there's one more. There's
Warren Beatty.
Yeah, there's old badasses.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
before
that
his
like
time.
was
John
Steve
Wayne.
I mean, Steve McQueen was in Bullet. Steve McQueen was in The Getaway. He was in a lot of Peck and Paw movies, which were fucking. You mean
The Great
movies.
Escape, or was The Getaway a different movie?
The Getaway is a different movie than The Great Escape.
Okay,
But Steve McQueen was in The Great Escape also. It was not a Peck and Paw movie. It was a different movie director. But he was in a lot of gritty movies. Sam Peckinpah made like The Wild Bunch and
from Central Valley, California. Not
Bring Me the Head of Diego Garcia, Alfredo Garcia. Crazy ass movie. He directed a lot of. He directed Straw Dogs, original Straw Dogs, which is a crazy movie.
Okay.
Dustin Hoffman.
Okay.
Anyway,
Google him.
Anyway, yeah, pretty legendary guy. Tarantino talks about him a lot.
He did The Wild Bunch. I think that was his big, like, famous, gritty, fucked up.
Well, no, he all those movies I named, The Getaway, Straw Dogs, Wild Bunch. Those are all equally as pretty famous movies.
Yeah, Wild Bunch is one people heard.
That's when you heard of them. So don't look what
Jake, have you heard of all those other movies, or was The Wild Bunch the one that popped out?
I've heard of some of them. I've heard of The Wild Bunch. I can't
say
The Wild Bunch necessarily popped out.
Heard of. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't know if that one stood out.
I'm not trying to talk shit on his other movies. I'm just talking about his most famous movie.
Okay, all right.
That's his most famous movie.
Tranquilo, Chico.